Hi, this is Karen White of Divine Time Astrology. I've been a professional astrologer in Southern California for the past 7 years. I love Jaimini Astrology because it's the most reliable technique I've ever found. And I've been studying astrology seriously since 1992. Jaimini Astrology is the best astrology to show career, purpose, talents, and skills. Today I'm using Jaimini Astrology to show you how you can see if you could be a writer. Not just a fiction, but nonfiction too, including articles and technical writing. This is not the only way to see writing in the chart. There are yogas for writing, but I'm concentrating on the Jaimini way of seeing it because Jaimini is a very concrete technique showing what can actually be in your life. At this point, I'm posting once a week on Mondays. Today, I'm talking about Jean M. Auel. She's the author of Clan of the Cave Bear and the Earth Children series. I remember when I read that book, I was absolutely riveted by that story. It was on my living room floor, and I knelt down to pick it up. And I picked it up while I was still on my knees on the floor, opened it up, and started reading, and I didn't get up from the floor for hours. It was that good. The Clan of the Cave Bear is the first of the Earth's Children books. It's a series of novels set in prehistoric Europe and explores human activities during this time and touches on the interactions of the Cro-Magnon people with Neanderthals. She attended the University of Portland, and while she was a student, she worked at Tektronix as a clerk, a circuit board designer, and a technical writer, and a credit manager. But it's the technical writer part that shows in her chart, which I'll show you in a moment. She received honorary degrees from her alma mater, as well as the University of Maine and the Mount Vernon College for Women. Now, it was in 1977 when she began an extensive library research of the Ice Age for her first book. She joined a survival class to learn how to construct an ice cave and learned primitive methods of making fire, tanning leather, and knapping stone from the Aboriginal skills expert Jim Riggs. The Clan of the Cave Bear was nominated for numerous literary awards, and it was made into a film later, starring Daryl Hannah. Then, after the success of the sales from her first book, she was able to travel to sites of prehistoric ruins and relics, and also to meet many of the experts with whom she'd been corresponding. This research has taken her across Europe, from France to the Ukraine. In '86, she attended and co-sponsored a conference on modern human origins at the School of American Research in Santa Fe. Okay, so now, using the Jaimini technique, let me show you how writing shows in her chart. And not just fiction writing, but technical writing as well. Okay, as we see here, her Upmakaraka essence planet is the Sun, and the Sun is here with Mercury in the 6th house of the healing arts, and we'll see what a big role this plays too. But if you remember, the Moon is involved in writing, and it has to be with, ruled by, or aspected by either Venus, Jupiter, or Mercury. And we see here the Moon is with Venus, and it's also with Rahu, the planet that rules technology. Now, the houses that have to be involved are the 3rd house of writing, the 5th house of creativity, and the 9th house of telling tales and teaching. Now, the Clan of the Cave Bear was known for its detailed knowledge of plants and natural remedies. And here Makaraka is with Mercury. Well, Mercury rules herbology. And if we go over here to the Navamsha, where Makaraka is, the sun, it's in the sign of Gemini. And Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So there is the natural remedies and the herbology again. And we see that the moon is also aspecting Gemini here. Now, the third house is the hard work of writing, and it is aspected by the moon, Rahu, and Ketu, because remember, the fixed signs aspect the movable cardinal signs, and the movable cardinal signs aspect the fixed signs unless they're next to each other. So moon, Venus here cannot aspect Aquarius and vice versa. Okay, so the third house of the hard work of writing has been established, and now we see that the moon, Venus, and Rahu are here in the fifth house. And we're not looking at the cusps here, which are what these little numbers are. This is a sign-based technique, which makes it so concrete. We're looking at the signs only, and Capricorn is the fifth sign from the ascendant. Okay, so we have the third and the fifth. Now let's look for the ninth. 6, 7, 8, 9, and the moon, Venus, and Rahu aspect the ninth house. It's also ruled by Venus too. So she meets all of these conditions. Another interesting thing is that her Makaraka is in the sign of Gemini. What this means is that her fame and her books made her quite famous will carry on long after death. So she's left a legacy here behind for us. And as we can see here, the moon is ruled by Jupiter because it's in the sign of Pisces, and it's aspecting her Makaraka. So this is the chart of Jean M. Auel, the author of the Earth Children series. The one she's most famous for is the Clan of the Cave Bear. If you'd like to get a Jaimini reading to see what your talents are, especially if you could be a writer, just contact me at Karen@divinetimeastrology.com and we'll set something up. I love books, and they've been my lifelong friends and teachers, and I don't think that there can be too many writers in the world. Until next time, good night.